Howdy. In my last video, an hour and 12-minute long video called Be Healed, I speak to the nature of what the correct spiritual food could do to the spiritual children. And if that happens in the spiritual, then it has to manifest into the physical. So I feel compelled now to say that any organ that's failing in the body, if nutrients are a factor, like say the kidneys and the liver, okay? If nutrients are a factor of the health of those organs, then everything I said in that hour and 12-minute long video called Be Healed is applicable to those organs. So if you have a failing organ that is, well, probably all of our organs are tied to nutrition one way or another. So it's going to be the faith healing, okay, given that the natural parallel in the spiritual is what faith is. So if the spiritual food is no longer poison because there's corrections that are made, and now the spiritual children are being fed something that has value, something that has nutrients, and then they're healed spiritually and they're no longer in jeopardy of forming cancers or failures of organs, then that has to transcend over into the natural. Has no choice. The natural and the spiritual there has to be equity, okay? They have to remain equal at all times. So for those that are struggling physically with any internal organ that is going to be affected by nutrients, then watch that Be Healed video and pick up what I'm laying down. And there's 5 teachings. I call out to the pastors to make 5 corrections and listen to those teachings. And if you can absorb the truth in those 5 teachings, and it's like an epiphany moment for you, and it sets you free of maybe some bondage that some past teachings have placed you in. So now you're spiritually healed, okay, through those 5 teachings. Then you have to accept the physical healing. Okay, the two have to parallel one another. Okay? A lot of times when Jesus did a physical healing, there was enough times, he would always say within the hour. Okay? Your servant will be healed within the hour. So just know that if you take the time to watch that with undivided attention, and you're like, oh my goodness, he's right on these things, then that is spiritual healing, okay? You're no longer in jeopardy of what the bad teachings on those 5 subjects are, and you have now been fed teachings on those 5 things in a way that there's nothing but nutrition, there's nothing but health in those teachings. If you can receive those, okay, you watch the video, if you can receive those, then know that your physical body has no choice but to follow behind that spiritual healing. And you should without a doubt, and we can work on this together if we have to. You know, if we live close enough to one another, we can get together. I can teach from different directions. I can bring understanding. You can ask questions, whatever. If we don't live close enough, we can do FaceTime, whatever you want to do. But you don't sell yourself short on faith, okay, which is nothing more than the spiritual parallel in the natural and the natural parallel in the spiritual. That's why every time Jesus pulled from either the natural or the spiritual and manifested in the other, and people were amazed, he always said, oh, ye little faith, how is it you don't understand these things? So get excited. I don't really think, I watched that back. I always watch all my productions back. And I really think that I laid it out there well. You know, I mean, in the beginning of any video, I'm always a little bit more Jim Oler than I am in the spirit. But then as the video goes on, probably in the 2nd or 3rd minute, I get small and then the spirit takes over. So trust me. You know, another thing, all right? So anyhow, in that video, I call out the healing for children in the hospitals with cancer. Because if the spiritual children no longer have these bad teachings that are a cancer to their spiritual health, and they're not subject to that spiritual cancer, then in the physical there cannot be any natural child afflicted with cancer. If it doesn't exist in the spiritual, then it's not going to exist in the natural. Unfortunately, right now, for a long time, I don't want to say 2,000 years, but for a very long time, these 5 things weren't being taught well, and there was nothing but spiritual cancers for the spiritual children. If you receive those 5 teachings of the hour and 12-minute video, I'm telling you, the healing has to follow in the physical. It has no choice whatsoever. So get excited about that. That's worth getting excited about. And I even will take it one step further, and I'll tell you that muscular dystrophy, which is the failure of your nerves, okay? And now the sensors, your nerves are sensors, okay? They detect all kinds of things going on in your body. So if that's what's going on in the natural muscular dystrophy, then the spiritual parallel of that is that your spiritual sensors just aren't picking up the clues of what's needed to be healthy. So maybe there's a need for repentance in an area. Maybe there's a need to be more brokenhearted. Maybe there's a need to be more committed, but you have grown calloused, and you have one way or another been led away from the importance of those things, even though I just had a low battery alert come in there. You've grown callous to those things, even though all the mechanics of them exist. You just have, for some reason, fallen into a position of maybe being overworked in an area to where you don't really have the time to put the hedges of protection around your mind or whatever. But I'm just telling you, even muscular dystrophy has no chance of standing up to a spiritual correction, okay? Which that teaching is coming next, because there's a lot of places in the Bible that we're told, taste not, touch not, but we do. We still partake of that. And I think with a little bit more meditation, which is prayer, I can put together maybe I'll go more biblical on that. Maybe I'll go more chapter and verse. And then, to get the spiritual sensors back to where they are governing your spiritual body has to transcend into the physical. And all the muscular dystrophy in the physical has to disappear too. So anyhow, we're headed in that direction. Okay, I've known my calling for about 30 years. And for a long time, I've twiddled my thumbs because I kept asking the Lord, show me how. And I really think the other day when I was talking directly to the pastors and trying to encourage them to partner with me, that they're already in place. They already have a flock that trusts them. Pick up what I'm laying down. Go forth with your eyes no longer blind and make your parishioners see. And I really think there's a good chance that that's going to happen. But to the individual that can receive it as well, it's all yours to be had on an individual basis, on a personal basis. So I know a kidney takes the nutrients and it processes it. And then the liver takes kind of the waste and the excess, and it deals with that. That's just nothing more than processing food in the natural. So I know here recently a lot of chatter has come up about apple cider vinegar. You take it at night, it does its thing in the evening while you sleep, and then it helps remove any scale that's on the bottom of it, I guess, from sugars that you probably shouldn't have been putting in there in the first place. But It will remove that, and then all of a sudden you start losing weight, okay? So everything has, faith is nothing more than a natural parallel in the spiritual. So we're going to start cleaning things up left and right. It's coming. It's coming in a big way. We're running out of time. Okay, I'm not going to be I'm not going to be one of the guys up here teaching about the end times right now. I think a lot of that's self-evident, and trust me, there's a lot more, there's a lot of stuff to receive, other than worrying about all that. But healing is huge right now. We need to get healed spiritually so that it can transcend to us physically. And in the let's say in the physical, you start cleaning up your liver with these, maybe with the apple cider vinegar, if it holds merit, and I think it does personally. Then you just manifested something in the natural, then it's going to manifest in the spiritual. So now all of a sudden, maybe you're going to become more, you got this physical thing going on over here. Now maybe all of a sudden you're becoming more sensitive. You're becoming more aware in the spiritual. So anyhow, the hour and 12-minute video, I think, is the foundation, is the key. It's going to show you 5 things that got mistaught all these years. And you're going to be like, oh my goodness, you got to be kidding me. And when you get those epiphanies and you're set free from all that spiritual cancer and you got your spiritual healing, it just can't help but it has to manifest in the natural. It has to. Faith is the two parallel in one another. It's nothing more. It's not really believing. It's more almost of a science type thing. It's like the nitty gritty. And there's more specifics on that in that hour and 12-minute video. So, man, get it. I'm not going nowhere. I mean, I've got the resolve. I'm ready. There's no more, trying to ask God how to do this. This is being done. It's just going to keep manifesting greater and greater and greater. People are going to start getting healed. It just has to. It has no choice. So, and I just happen to have been put in a position through all the trials and tribulations that I've endured in my journey with the Lord to speak it. And here I am, nobody, speaking cool stuff. So anyhow, giddy up, get it done.